All right. Well, it's Masters time, Paul. You ready to get some major golf going?
It's about time. Been
Yeah.
waiting.
All right. So here we are, cashing tickets brought to you by Poolside Bets. Here we are. I'm Franklin. That's Paul. So we're gonna give. This is just a Masters edition today, so it may not be that long a recording, but we're gonna be here to talk about the Masters. Um, anything you want to bring? I love it.
I love a live
We
show.
had everything going well. Now we got cameras falling and everything else, but we're gonna get it figured out. There you go. Paul's ready to go now. You ready now? All right. There he is. Again, I'm Franklin. That's Paul. We're Poolside Bets. We're bringing you cash and tickets Masters edition. So we're gonna talk to you about the golf tournament coming up this weekend. I'm sure the azaleas are blooming and everything's ready to go. They're gonna be piping in the fake birds and everything else, and a tradition like no other. So anyway, we're excited about it. I hope you are too. I know it's a Easter weekend as well, but there is a lot going on this weekend, Paul. We'll touch on some of that before we get to the golf. Do you want to give any recap of anything we had last weekend going on with the horses, the national championship games, and whether it's the ladies, the men's, or anything else you just want to touch on before we do another show this week?
No, those the two girls for the LSU and then
The Caitlin Clark for Iowa.
Iowa. Yeah, they just. I mean, people are getting all over that from every direction. Let them play. They did. Nobody did anything wrong. They were just out there doing their thing. Caitlin Clark showed her. She was out there doing her thing, being a little extra, and then the other team, they come out there and they got the best of her, and then they gave it back to her. It's just part of game. It's part of it.
It's gamesmanship.
Quit trying to make it something it ain't.
Yeah,
Nobody's mad about nothing.
Yeah, I love what Caitlin Clark said too. She's like, going to the White House is not for the runner-up.
Not exactly right.
Good for her.
Exactly
I mean, good for
right.
her. Taking up for was Angela Reese is the girl's name for LSU, I believe.
Yeah.
Hey, look, LSU played an incredible game, and boy, but Caitlin Clark she's fun to watch. I did not. I did not know who she was until the tournament, and that's kind of sad because how much fun was she to watch during this whole tournament run? I mean, once she gets across half court, that girl she's in range. I mean, give it to her and let her shoot it.
Yeah, she got that J wheel range.
Yeah, that was fun. So congratulations to the LSU ladies. They're the first basketball championship for the LSU Tigers. Congratulations to them. Kim Mulkey, obviously, she did exactly what they brought her in to do and got it done. This is her second year. I think this was her second year there at the program.
Yeah, she coached 21 years at Baylor. I think she won like 3 or 4 natties there. Now, why she left, I'm pretty sure if LSU's involved, it had
Probably
a lot of money involved.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, that's. But I mean, 2 years, man. We're hoping some of that happening over at Knox Patch.
That's right. Chris Beard coming in over there. Speaking of the men, you just kind of saw it coming. UConn was an absolute monster throughout the entire tournament. They continued that in the national championship game. And I did throw a little Twitter out there. I said, I wasn't quite sure where to lean, but I did like the over, and the over did hit. They got easily past the 130. Whether right at game time, you could get it at 130.5, and before that, it was like 132, 131, right in there. But didn't matter. Wherever you took the over there, I'm pretty sure it covered any of those lines.
Yeah, I saw a stat on UConn. I think they've made the Final Four 4 times.
Won it every time?
No, they've been in the Final Four. They lost one. They're 3-4 in the Final Four.
3-1 in the
They're
Final
3-1, and making a national title game, they're 3-3. They make the natty. It's over.
It's over.
A wrap.
Yeah. So, great performance. Congratulations to that's Danny Hurley. I know I saw Bobby, his brother.
Yeah, Bobby's at Arizona State.
Yeah, I saw him in the stands rooting his brother on. I loved him at Duke. He was fun to watch. Good ball player there. Looked very just like his brother on the sidelines. A lot of emotion going on with the Hurleys there. So congratulations to Bobby Hurley and the UConn Huskies on the championship there. You want to touch on any of the races we talked about last week, or do you want to in our next show? Or
Angelo Empire went out there and we missed on that one. Boy.
we kept talking about him, and we
I didn't
just
think
weren't
he-
sure.
I didn't think he had enough, but the race set up perfect.
Perfect. I mean, again, another perfect trip. It was a hot pace up front, and the horse that I liked, Red Route One, he didn't do what I thought he was going to do. He was last, and he made a hard charge at the end. Didn't get in the place or didn't get in there. But again, the problem was he was too far back, and so that race set up perfect for Angel of Empire, and he overtakes it in that last turn and just runs away with it. So congratulations to the connections there, Brad Cox, and it was a different jockey this time. Angel Empire still got it done. Didn't matter. But the horse to talk about is Forte, right? I mean, it wasn't a bad start, but he was wide. He had to tuck down low early. Mage made a huge move right at the second turn, and he got the jump on Forte. And when a horse gets the jump like that, and you got another furlong to go, it's hard to catch and win coming from the outside.
Man, go get you some. If they still got a future bet on him to win the Kentucky Derby, I wouldn't blame you. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he's an incredible horse, and when you saw him finish, he looked like a gray. He is anything but a gray. He's a dark horse, but he took so much dirt in that race, you couldn't even tell what color he was, and got it done. I mean, just a wonderful horse there, and I can't wait to see what he does. Because you like dominance, you like big horses, you like to see a chance. If there's a chance for a Triple Crown winner, you kind of root for that.
It's always fun.
And that's so hard to do, but I mean, in the last, 5-6 years, is he not the best horse we've seen outside of Tis the Law that maybe has a chance to do something like that?
Man, the one thing I do like about him is he's not a Baffert horse.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing.
I mean, you don't have to worry about Baffert juicing one to the bejesus and beating a
'Cause he
really
can't-
great horse.
Yeah, that's right. Well, he could, I guess, at the Preakness or the Belmont. That's kind of what scares me, I guess. Because I think the only place he's banned from is the Derby, right? I mean, he can race. He can train horses in the other two races of the Triple Crown, I think.
No, in the Naira. I mean, not Naira, but it's not is it the Preakness or races in New York?
No, that's the Belmont.
I think the Belmont can't stand that dude.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see.
Whatever track that I can't remember.
But really good horse there. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be the easy favorite going into the Derby there. So, but we'll do more on that. We've got some races coming up this weekend. I think 3 Derby prep races this weekend, Paul.
Yeah, we can maybe do a show on that tomorrow.
That's what. Yeah, we're going to do another show. We'll dip in on those coming up. But tonight, this is all about the Masters. And you know what's sad, Paul? I was sitting here and I was so ready to go, and I left my Masters hat at the house. So here I sit with an orange hat on. I have a Masters hat at home in the closet, just sitting there collecting dust. Apparently, I couldn't be bothered to bring it for tonight's show.
Over looking like a Clemson fan.
Right. I know, right? How terrible is that? It's not even. I mean, at least you got black. You're just kind of, But here I'm, orange hat. And anyway, so the Masters is here. I hate that the weather's going to be. It's going to be cooler there. Thunderstorms are going to be an issue Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It may be the first time ever that the Masters goes into a Monday because the weather does not look good there.
Yeah, what do they? As long as it's not lightning, do they still play? Or if it's raining,
yes,
they'll play.
They'll play as long as there's not lightning too close. I mean, if they start seeing lightning, they'll have to suspend it. But the only reason they call it for rain, if it just gets the downpour, you can't play in it. If it's just a light sprinkle, they'll play through the rain as long as it's playable.
Tomorrow, they're not going to have that issue. Those greens are going to be fast as shit. What did the stimp meter on the greens there? What do you say? They're championship level?
14, 15, probably.
Yeah, there's no rating. There's championship. It's like whatever's above what you're
We're not
thinking,
giving you a number.
That.
Yeah, it's up
above
there. The one thing about the Augusta National, they have the best system set up with fans and everything else. Not actual people, but like fans that twirl and blow and they, even with rain, they can take 2 to 3 inches of rain there, and those greens will still be fast. I mean, that's what I'm getting at. It's not gonna, unless it's just an absolute downpour for a while. But even after they wait and they come back, they can still get those greens in championship form. So
They're tough, man. That's what I was talking about or looking at earlier, and we were talking to some guys at work. We're talking about you can still get like a hamburger or a sandwich there for $3.
yeah, the
Like
prices aren't bad
you can
there.
get they say if you walk down, walk into the that you get in there and it's like walking back into the 1950s, and everything's the same, the price the same, caddies look the same, all that, and that's pretty cool. Like, I mean, you can't go get anything for $11 anymore, and you can go in there and get a full meal for $11. You know?
Yeah. And I know they do things there that give you an idea of what you think it's supposed to look there. Now, look, they have a way. They make those azaleas bloom early. It's not azalea blooming time by any stretch of the imagination, but they have a way of making those things bloom early. And when you watch the coverage, you'll hear birds chirping. That's piped in. That's not real birds. Like they actually do that. They pipe in bird but it's still. I mean,
don't they bring in the sand from some other place? Too,
yeah, I mean, everything there is just amazing. And that's what makes the tournament so great. And I can't wait to watch. It's my favorite tournament of the year. Always is. Always has been. And a lot of that goes back to. I can remember sitting in the living room with my dad, watching Jack Nicklaus win it in '86 when he was 46 years old. It may have been maybe my greatest master outside of Tiger in 2019. It's my other best memory of the Masters.
Yeah, I went back and looked today. I got some stuff wrote down about the Masters. I thought it was pretty cool of how it got started and all that. Bobby Jones is probably one of the best golfers ever. He's definitely on the Mount Rushmore golf.
Has to be.
He's one of the founding members of Augusta National.
Well, he helped create that whole setup. I mean, helped build the course, the layout and everything.
Yeah, him and a guy named Clifford Jones was involved too. They had applied to get the U.S. Open, and they got denied. And Bobby Jones, being Bobby Jones, said, "You know what? Screw it. We'll just do our own tournament.
We'll do our own." And here we are.
And you can argue that they are
the U.S. Open screwed up.
They may have messed up here. Yeah, I had some pretty cool stuff wrote down here on. Yeah, I mean, some of this stuff you already know about for sure, but I had to refresh myself because it's been so long since I dove into.
Yeah, go ahead.
The shot heard around the world. Gene Sarazen, sorry.
Yeah.
Double eagle on 15. The reason he hit the forward there is because Walter Hagen was bugging the hell out of him because he's playing so slow. Walter Hagen had a date at 4 o'clock and he was trying to get to.
How great is that, by the way?
So he just pulls out a forward and nails it and freaking hammers it and ends up tying and going to a 38-hole playoff.
You know what's so funny about golf in those days is like it wasn't that big a deal, so they were just out there like. It's just like now when I go play with my buddies on a Saturday or Sunday. I mean, that's kind of what they didn't.
No,
because you didn't have the fanfare back
the
then.
Money, yeah. But I thought that was a good story. That's like me sitting there. Look, man, I got to be at the bar at 5.
Dude, yeah, we got already ordered shots are gonna get hot by the time we get there.
So it's a forward. What are you doing? Hit it.
Hit it.
And it goes in. Some of the things I didn't know about. I'm just talking because I didn't know. Ray's Creek's, I've always heard Ray's Creek, named after the landowner, died in 1789. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool. And the Green Jackets made their debut in 1939, and they were wore for people who were visiting the course that needed questions. They could look for a Green Jacket and know that was a member.
There you go.
So that's where the founding part of the Green Jackets come from. Now the dinner and all that has a little more history that comes from Bobby Jones and them, or some other guy saying, "Hey, we want to get the champions back, but we have rules."
Yeah,
you be on time and wear the green jacket. And then it's 2023 coming up, and those traditions still alive. And if you don't like that stuff, I can't help you. So, anyways, that was kind of what I thought was cool about it. And there's 1,000 stories and whatnot, but I thought that was fun.
I mean, and every golf tournament has their. I mean, I'm sure other people have. Stories about big time upsets or big time breakdowns. I mean, you want to talk about one of the greatest breakdowns I've ever watched live was Jean Van de Velde at the British Open when he made a 7 on the last hole when he had the British Open basically wrapped up. Or for those of you who don't like call it the British, the Open Championship.
The Open.
Yeah.
That's because they moved it around a little taste.
But for me, I guess as just a golf fan, a lot of those. I mean, one, Jack Nicklaus, Jack Nicklaus, winning the Masters at 46 years old in 1986, just incredible. And if you go back and watch that final round, I still am in awe of the way that he won that thing. And then watching Tiger commercial free when he teed off at 9 o'clock in the morning in 2019 when nobody really thought he had a chance. He's in the last group, and then he goes and wins that thing. I'm not gonna lie, I sat in my living room while my wife was still, and I was crying. I mean, I had tears coming down my face. I mean, I couldn't hide it. Probably never gonna beat Francis Ouimet winning the U.S. Open back in the 30s, I believe. I can't remember when, but I mean, he was an amateur and won it. He's one of the youngest guys to ever win a major championship. So, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of others, but I mean, and then you want to talk about breakdowns. It's like you can also look at Greg Norman when he choked away
Yeah, I remember
a couple of times at the Masters.
yeah.
I mean, that place just does it to you. There's, especially when you get on the back nine, you always talk about the Sunday roars on the back nine. But you not only do you have that, you have guys going in the water at 12, going in the water at 15, going in the water at 16. I mean, the course is set up for scoring, but it also will just get you. The nerves, I think, more than anything, get you in that tournament.
Yeah, I just like hearing professional golfers talk about how hard the greens are, and how hard the distance is.
Yeah.
For a while there, you couldn't use your own caddy. You had to use the local caddies, which probably benefit them because nobody knows that course like the local guys.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's why they all wear the same stuff. It's just only
And you're required. Every caddy's required to wear the same thing.
Yeah, but the distance on that course is tough, man.
Well, it used to not be until Tiger. He changed that in '97, and they started making it longer ever since then.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, like I said, the up down is constant. It's you're either hitting downhill or hitting uphill. You just
the undulation there is incredible. And you know what? I've heard it from people who've walked it. I have friends that have been there, and they've told me you cannot appreciate the undulation at Augusta unless you go there. Yeah. You can't see it on TV. The one time you really could see it was the COVID year when they played it in November. There were no fans on the screen, and everything looked different because it was fall. You could actually see some of that undulation a lot better than you're going to see it, when it's played during this time. And it's incredibly hard to navigate all of that. So a couple of things going into the Masters this week. One is the weather. It's going to be tough. There's going to be breaks. There's going to be rain. It's going to soften up. You got to be able to stick it. You got to be a great iron player when it gets like that. You got to be able to hit the long irons well. So you want to look at players that can play those irons really good. And it's not so much, when I've gone back and looked, it's not so much about putt. As hard as those greens can be, these guys are pros for a reason. I mean, they can lag putt. Sometimes you just got to take your 2-putt and move along. Yeah. It's when you miss the green, that's where the trouble comes in. And there's one player that I'm sure some people are kind of like. We've liked him. He's young. And he was the low amateur a few years back. If you don't have imagination and you don't have soft hands and you don't know how to work around those greens, you just toss them out. Don't even think about anybody that can't get up and down. If they're having trouble chipping, I toss them out. I'm not going to take you because you cannot navigate because you're not going to hit every green at this course. I mean, it's just hard to do. Yeah. Anything? Oh, I got one other thing for the 13th hole. The one where a lot of people go for it into. If they can turn the corner there, they don't end up in the pine straw right. Some people have gone over the trees and cut the corner. I mean, I can remember Bubba Watson going driver like 9-iron into that green the year that he won it, which is ridiculous. Well, they've moved the 13th tee back 36 yards.
Yeah, that'll make a difference.
So it's going to be a big difference there. It's going to be a lot of 3 shots this time instead of just going forward in 2. And now it opens up for driver because now that they're moved back, they don't have to worry about going into the pine straw on the right. They can just blow it out right and then take their layup and go in. But it's going to be a lot more layups on the 13th hole. So we may see not as many birdies and eagles at 13 this year as we normally see.
I hope the weather does right. I know it's complicated, but maybe it'll all settle down. We'll have a good weekend of golf. I know tomorrow's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. They already had one dude hit back-to-back hole-in-ones today in the par 3. And they always hit lots of hole-in-ones on the par 3 contest. So I'm sure that was a lot of fun today. And the kids get involved in all that. So that's, they just do a great job there. They had the women's amateur there last weekend.
Oh, yeah, we watched
with the
that.
college golfers, and so the course looked great, and I know they're ready to go. So let's just dive in, Paul. Before we give winners, I know both of us have top 10 people.
Oh, yeah.
So why don't we start with top 10 bets? You want to start there?
Yeah.
All right.
My top 10 bets. I'm not gonna give you a lot of information. I mean, all this is these are guys I feel like they're gonna get there. It's kind of like swagger a little bit. And then I just kind of like them. I don't have a whole notebook of why, and I know, just use me as one of those guys that's going like, just trust me. I know we tell you don't do it, but anyways. The first one I got is Matthew Fitzpatrick at plus 335, top 10. That's what I got on action. I just got my tickets earlier for the bets today. So it's plus 360 at Caesars for Fitzpatrick. He's a good young golfer. He's steady. He's got that swagger. He's got the form. He's got it all, and he will do good. He'll do well at Augusta, I believe.
The only one thing I'll say, because when I noticed that name you had on there, I liked Matthew Fitzpatrick also finish in the top 10, maybe even the top 5. But there's talk about back trouble a little bit,
Missed it.
and that scares me with weather. Yeah. Anything with that course is hard enough to walk when you're healthy and it's sunshiny.
Yeah.
But if there's supposed to be a little cooler there, your back is going to seize up when it's colder outside. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And
I saw a bunch of assholes betting Tiger not to make the cut, and that was the only excuse why.
The back, yeah.
It was
well, the knee, the leg, yeah.
Beat the hell up. Yeah.
Well, he mentioned it in his talks when he press conference. He said the weather is an issue because it's gonna affect his body. The biggest thing. It's not gonna affect his game. The body affects the game, and the weather affects the body. So, hence the weather affects the game. But it's the body that what goes down there, and
then I got it right there, and the elevation changes.
And he got through 4 rounds last year, and now he's a little healthier, but it's still going to be hard because, this year at Riviera when he made the cut, that Saturday and Sunday, he was limping really bad. I mean, so but this course is going to bring back all those good feelings and good vibes, and he's going to be juiced up. He's going to live on that for what, 2 rounds, maybe?
Did you bet him?
No, I did. Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to bet against the big cat. I'm not going to do it because I've said this a million times. He's my favorite golfer of all time. I'm not going to bet against the guy that is my sentimental golfer.
No.
But I'm self-aware. And when it comes to money, I'm not going to throw money out there. Now, when I did see, I think it was like 80-1 to be in the top 10. I'm not gonna lie, I thought about it.
$10 get you 800 back.
Yeah, I was like, maybe that was to win.
Maybe
Maybe it was 80-1 to win. I don't know, but
you got you a top 10er?
Yeah, I got some top 10. So he mentioned Matthew Fitzpatrick. I'll give you a top 10. My first one here. All right, now that Paul stepped away, I go to make my bets today, right? I go up there, I put the money in the machine, and I had all the bets there, and I said, I'm going to make them all at one time because I was betting the same amount for every golfer, whether it was top 10 or to win. Then I hit the place to bet, and so they're going to start printing out all my tickets, right? Well, the machine runs out of paper, and so they've got to come put paper back in. It only printed out one ticket, so I still had 7 more tickets to be printed out. They put the paper in, and the thing wouldn't print. There's no printing, and on the screen it said balance $0. So the people who fixed it and put the paper in said, "Okay, you're good to go." I said, "No, we're not quite good to go because either you owe me $175 or you got to start printing some tickets out here." So they weren't sure what to do. They had to go somewhere else, and then they come back, and we had to go over this whole thing. I didn't know if they had to check the cameras to see if they could see me putting my money in or what. So anyway, so instead of getting tickets, here's what I got. Regular big sheets of paper here with that they had to go back to the office and print my tickets out on these huge sheets of paper. So you see me fiddling around with paper here. That's the reason why I've got these big. I don't have regular tickets like Paul's got over here because I made sure I got Paul's tickets first before I got mine.
So damn right you did.
So my first top 10 guy that I've got here is, and it's so hard to read this thing. It's so small. I got Sung Jae Im to get in the top 10.
I got him too.
You talk about a guy that's just, he plays almost every tournament. He's got the game to play here. He's had some pretty good success at the Masters in his young career. And with the weather that's coming in and the way that he can concentrate and stay on every shot and make the iron shots that need to be made, I think he can get a top 10. So yeah, I got a top 10 for Sung Jae Im there, Paul.
I got a ticket on him also.
In the top 10?
Yep.
All right, so go to your next guy there. Who you got?
I got Patrick Cantlay. He's one of them guys you never really think about, but he's always involved in a major.
You can't overlook him either.
No, he just always involved in majors. He's always there. Just feel good. Like I said,
you know what surprised me about Patrick is he hasn't won one, not Masters, but I don't think he's won a major, has he? Has he won a major?
He's been involved in a bunch of them.
That's what he's got the temperament.
Now,
and he has the game to do it. It's just it always seems like he's coming from mid-pack on Sunday. He never is like right up there at the lead. So for me, the reason I didn't go with Cantlay is simply because I need to see him do it. Does that make sense? Like yeah. I need to see it happen before I can throw my money there. I love the kid. His temperament is fantastic, and he's got some game there. But yeah, I'm not on Patrick there.
Yeah, I also have. What did I do here? I messed up. Get my stuff together.
Now, so while he's looking, I'll give you my second guy. Top 10 is I got Xander Schauffele, and it's not a big. I mean, he's only plus 200 to get in the top 10, and I understand it. I know it's low, but to me, he's a safe bet for the top 10. Xander's another guy like Patrick Cantlay. I guess everything I just said about Cantlay, I could say about Xander. He's got to get it done. It's it just solid, but he never makes that big run to get the win. So that's why I think he's consistent enough, and he's had good results at Augusta. So I put a little money on him to get in the top 10, and hoping. I'm hoping like I land a winner and I land Xander in the top 10, so you're cashing multiple tickets here. So that's kind of why I went there with Xander in the top 10.
Yeah, I was looking at these tickets you printed out. I forgot you had the big kerfuffle at the casino.
Yeah,
that's my tickets are all jacked. Well, this is the
sorry.
The
I mean,
America
I did the best I could do, man. I did the best I could do.
All right, so Patrick Cantlay, I have to win. And the reason I have him to win, I'm going to say that because I already said his name. It's not a top 10. It's he's finished.
Oh, you have him as a win. Okay.
Yeah, 3 of the last 4 he's finished top 10. He might break through here. That's why I got plus 1,600.
Okay.
All right, so I'll give you Jason Day top 10. Same reason I like Cantlay though, because Jason Day's he fell off for a little while. Now he's back.
He's played good golf this year. He's playing really good golf. I think his back seems to be okay.
Plus 210, you can get whatever $1 gets you $2.10 out of it. I like Jason Day. Just trying to find consistent golfers to help hedge some of these golfers I picked to win because you can't. 5 of them can't win, so I got 5 golfers
Oh,
to
that's
win
true.
outright. So trying to hope get some of that money back and hit the winner. So we'll have
Yeah.
to see how that works.
Um,
Who you got?
I got Sam Burns in the top 10.
I don't hate it.
He's plus 360 getting the top 10. Sam's had a pretty decent early portion of the season so far, and I just think that maybe this is his time to, at least look at the leaderboard come the weekend.
Yeah.
And I think if he gets there, like if he can get top 10 come Saturday morning, he has the game to maintain that.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be golfers that are going to be in the top 10 that won't even finish in the top 20. They'll be top 10 Saturday, but come Sunday afternoon, they won't even be in contention.
Man, good luck picking the first round leader. I see people bet that all the time. It's always some knucklehead out there leading. I also got a top 10 bet on Willie Zalatoris. Same reason.
I'm worried about his health, but I get it.
Well, they always show up at the big tournaments. He's always there. It's that you see him, he's just walking around doing his thing, and he's going to be 4th or 5th. He's going to have a shot. Everybody 2 strokes back. All he has to do is birdie a hole, and he'll miss a putt.
He's like
but
that.
He'll be there though.
He's like that closer horse. You hope that one time this is the time he closes
Yeah,
strong. Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, I like Willie Z. I always have him and Victor Hovland. I both like them both.
This is another safe bet I took for top 10. I got Tony Finau, top
like
10. Because here's the thing. When that course gets wet like it's going to be, the long hitters are going to have
That's just going to let you.
the long hitters are going to have a chance, a better chance here, and Tony can absolutely blast it. But here's the thing: Tony's very consistent with the driver. He can put it where he needs to put it, and he's got experience. He played in the final group in 2019 with Tiger and Francesco Molinari. He's been there. He's got the game to do it. He's been rounding in form. He's got to win. So I think he's got a chance if he can get his putter going, and if he can putt well, because I like his imagination around the greens. It's just as long as he can make putts, and the trick is making those 5 to 6 footers for par, and that's where Tony sometimes falters. So if he can maintain that, make some of those, you don't have to make them all, but if you can make 80% of them, I think he can. And of course, we're talking about top 10. I think he has the game to go out there and get top 10.
I don't hate him for top. I got it in my notes. I don't hate him for top 10 or 20. I just didn't play him here.
Yeah.
I basically just ran out of money. I'll be honest with you, because I do like Finau, especially at Augusta. My other top 10 I have is Min Woo Lee.
Australian, yeah. He's Australian. People.
Don't be that person. There's something that so he had a tournament. He was leading. What tournament was that? He's leading, and he just lost it at the end.
He was in the final grouping with Scheffler. Yeah.
But the guy
was that the Players?
Yeah,
was that the Players?
Yeah, his sister has won several tournaments at LPGA. But anyways, he's got swagger. He loves the spotlight. He wants to be in the moment. He wants all this. So don't be surprised if old Min Woo Lee, if you hadn't heard of him, is right there, maybe setting the last tee off spot or whatever. Last one's out. Maybe finishes 4th, 5th, something like that. I wouldn't doubt it.
And so what I noticed between my tickets and Paul is that Paul went a little more aggressive on the top 10s, which I get it. Go out there and get you extra odds on the top 10s, but I went a little safe on the top 10s because I went a little less safe on my winners.
Yeah.
So just trying to get trying to keep you want to cash some tickets. It's not about just trying to go get the longest odds.
We're trying to hedge with the top 10.
Don't throw money away. I mean, so and Paul, he got a 1 or 2 maybe not safe, but lower odds in the win. I went a little lower odds in the top 10 and a little longer odds in the win just to see if we can't bring a little extra money home here. I don't have any other top 10s. So I had Finau, Burns, Sung Jae Im, and Xander Schauffele for my top 10 finishers.
Yeah.
And you want to run down your top tens you got there, Paul? I see you're looking at 'em. If you want to just give them.
I got Fitzpatrick at plus. Well, I don't know the ticket. Matthew Fitzpatrick, Sung J M, Will Zalatoris, Minwoo Lee, and Jason Day.
I saw a video just yesterday when I was looking at golfers. It was a video of Minwoo Lee showing, and the kid, for his small frame, can absolutely hammer the golf ball off the tee.
He's 5-1 at a top 10. I love that.
His hip turn when he turns those hips, getting into his driver, it's incredible. I mean, you've got to be incredibly flexible to do what he does. But those hips fire straight down and through the golf ball, and it's incredible the way that he can move his body. So, yeah, good luck to Minwoo Lee. I think he's got some game there.
And yeah, he could be like a super. He's not a Scotty Scheffler. He's not Justin Thomas. He's not boring and all shucks.
He's got some emotion.
He will put his foot on your throat and go get it.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
That's fun to watch.
It is. You're right.
So, anyways, where we're going.
I guess we're gonna go in the winners now, right? I mean, we gotta give them our winners. I'm gonna let you start because you got 5 winners and I only have 4.
Well, I started with Cantlay.
Oh, you already give him. That's right.
Yeah, Patrick
that's
Cantlay
right.
plus 1,600. Finished 3 of the last 4 top 10s. He's always around. I mean, eventually he's gonna get it home, and I just threw it. 1,600 is not a bad number.
And I know I just mentioned putting earlier, so don't throw shit at the screen when I say this name out loud because it kind of goes against it. But again, you don't have to be a great putter to win at the Masters. You just got to be you just don't have 3 putts is the deal. And you got to be good around the greens and you got to have great iron play. And this kid has great iron play. And when he gets wet and you need long irons into these greens and you need to stick it, this kid can absolutely do it. We've seen it. Paul's won with him before in other tournaments. So I've got Colin Morikawa here.
Yeah, baby.
I've got really good odds at 25-1. So yeah, I got a win ticket here on Colin Morikawa because I think that his long irons are going to be the difference in his game against everybody else when the weather gets bad.
Look, some of you guys out there that like to play the game of gamble like we do, and you live in a certain area of the world that you can't online gamble, you have to go to the boat and you use Louis the Lip, whatever, So you get a text about 5 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon going, what the fuck?
Yeah, what's that? Where'd you get this guy?
Yeah, who are you listening to?
They're talking about Paul getting Colin Morikawa in the PGA.
Baby.
What was that, 3 years ago? You had Colin Morikawa in the PGA?
I hit Morikawa and I picked 4 for about $2,000 and one.
The same afternoon. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, boy.
Louis
was not happy. He was not happy. Well, he wasn't that he wasn't happy. He's just like, where did you pull this kid?
Yeah.
I think that was Morikawa's maybe rookie year.
Anyways,
it was either his rookie year or his sophomore year when he won the PGA. Was it the PGA or was it the? I think it was the PGA. I think it was a major. Yeah, it was. I think it was the PGA.
Because Matsuyama won one too. But anyways, all right. So I gave you Cantlay. I'm also on Morikawa 25-1.
Oh, you are too. I thought we were okay.
All right. I'm on him. My next pick I'm gonna give out is. I don't know, it's Rory McIlroy's plus 700, 7-1. He's either 1A or 1B, best golfer in the world. I mean, I just can't leave him. At 7-1, I just can't leave him off.
I know Tiger's not going to win it, but if there's a sentimental golfer for me out there outside of Tiger Woods, I think it's Rory. Yeah. Look, I wasn't a huge fan of Rory when he was younger. My wife loves him, and she's been rooting for him ever since, and as he's gotten older and the way that he's defended the PGA Tour when the whole live thing started, I've become a fan. I wasn't initially a fan of Rory McIlroy, but as a sentimental favorite, I'd love to see him go do it. Yeah, I didn't put any money on him just because, like I said, I went out and tried to get some bigger odds, but I would not be sad to see Rory win the Masters finally and complete his Grand Slam. It's the one tournament one major he hasn't won.
Yeah, well, I'm pulling for him. It'll help me out, and I mean I won't win a ton of money on it, but I need those top tens to come home, but it'll still help.
That's right. All right, so
Who you got?
I'm not gonna go there yet. That's a little longer. We'll get to that one
Yeah, give
in a
us
minute.
give us a salty pick.
I'll get you a salty pick here in a minute. Let's go with all right. So speaking of, so this goes against everything in my body to even do it, and Paul probably knows who I'm about to say because it would typically be the last golfer I would ever pick to win a tournament.
Justin Thomas.
There you go.
Are you even gonna watch the Masters? You can't, man. You can't watch the Masters and bet
pull for
Justin
Justin
Thomas. No,
Thomas.
no, I will not allow it. He has absolutely destroyed this man. Every Sunday he's in a tournament that's got a chance to win. He just talks the.
I know,
here,
right? I know, right?
You're sitting there. The audacity of this bullshit. All right, bet him.
I knew when I brought it up, you were gonna give this to me, and I deserve it all. I know. Look, I am not a Justin Thomas fan. I mean, I'll just be honest with you. I don't like his temperament. I don't like the clothes he wears. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why, and I don't. He's so vanilla. He's like the most. He's like the most non-fun frat boy you've ever met in your life. He really is. To me, I don't know. But
Well, it's not about who you like. It's
no,
about winning
that's right.
money.
It's about
so-
winning money. And I think if Justin Thomas is going to get something done at the Masters, this is going to be the year. He's playing pretty good golf, and he's a great iron player. So, again, we're talking about weather. We're talking about how this course is going to set up with the weather. And I think when it comes to when it gets to iron play and he's got to hit those longer irons, he's one of the better ones in the world to do it. And so at 22-1, I couldn't pass it up.
So this is how I know for sure that the casino gave Franklin a free bet. He would not bet his money on this. Don't believe it.
I got it right out of the machine, a free bet, huh?
Yeah. So Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I was running out of thought. I don't know.
He may win it, but boy, I'm gonna give you all the shit.
If he does win it,
Yeah,
are you even gonna let me cash the ticket?
You better donate something to his charity or something. I don't know what. I don't know.
Are you
something.
trying to say I talk shit when he plays?
When he ain't playing? And talk shit at breakfast about that man. So since we're talking shit, we're talking about his best buddy, one of his best buddies.
Here we go.
I got Jordan Spieth plus 1,600. Plays well in tough conditions. It's gonna be nasty there. I like him here. He's just one of those names that show up in Masters. He's my next guy on the list.
You know what I like about Jordan Spieth is
you like?
his creativity,
No, he's gonna,
and you
man.
have to have it around this course. And you're gonna have to have it in this weather around those greens, and he's got it. I just thought it was too short a price. Like I don't know why he's 16. I don't know what recently it can tell you that he's 16-1.
He definitely hadn't earned it.
So that was the only reason I stayed away from. If you would have given me anything over 20-1 with Jordan Spieth, I would have thrown out Justin Thomas and I would have taken Jordan
No,
Spieth.
you cannot go back now. You have.
No,
Justin
I'm telling
Thomas
you the
ticket.
reason. I'm telling you the reason why. That really it was down between those two golfers, and I thought it was way too short a price, so I went with Justin Thomas. But I mean, who knows? I mean, good luck to Jordan. I mean, congratulations, Jordan Spieth. Obviously.
I'm just happy. I'm hoping that the course. I know you like how they set it up and it's going to be okay, but I hope it gets treacherous. If it does, then I like Jordan Spieth.
Well, he has imagination like nobody. I mean, he can see shots that other people can't see, and he can pull them off.
And he's not scared to pull the trigger.
Right, and he'll get up there and do it. So you know what? I'm going to do this. And the caddy will be looking at him like, don't do this. Do not hit that shot. Do not even try it. Why are you? And then next thing you know, Jordan's knocking it 2 feet from the cup and tapping in for birdie.
Yep.
The only thing that scares me with Jordan is he's going to make a ton of birdies. I know he is. But he also is going to try some of those shots that don't work. And that's what ends up being big numbers, like double bogeys.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be fun to watch. You got any more?
Oh, yeah, I got 2 more winners here.
All right, I got one more.
All right. Here we go.
Well, it's going to be better than the last one, huh?
So I did take a live golfer.
Okay, I don't hate it.
I got one. He won the last event for the live golf
Yeah,
tour.
yeah, his wife loves everything about him.
He is he's got major championships under his belt.
He does. He hits it 4,622 miles off the tee.
And he appears to be healthy. So I really think, and he's been in this situation before. He's been down the stretch. He's been on the leaderboard. He was the only guy that could catch Tiger Woods back in 2019. And again, I know we don't know much about these live golfers, but if I'm going to bet one, Brooks Koepka is going to be the guy that I'm taking.
I looked really hard at Brooks Koepka.
So I got Brooks Koepka at 30-1.
I looked really hard. I did. I looked really hard.
He's got the game to get it done. I mean, he can do it all.
I ran out of money. He seems to be. He seems to be back. He seems to be the guy that everybody was scared of when he stepped on the tee.
Right. And here's the thing. Here's when you don't bet Koepka. You don't bet Koepka when he's anywhere from 10 to 16-1. He's never done well. Now, when he's inside 10-1, when he's 6, 7-1, when he's the dominant, here's the guy that's going to win it, he does well. When he's in that middle range, he doesn't do well. Now, he's at 30-1. He's not been on the PGA Tour. But again, he just won. He seems to have his mental capacity back in place where he needs it to be.
Yeah, he struggled for a while.
He did, and he's healthy, and that's a big key with any golfer. So, yeah, I jumped on Brooks Koepka at 30-1.
Okay, I don't hate it. I really don't. My last to win pick is Hideki Matsuyama, and it's pretty much the same as Morikawa. It's just that I don't have anything to back it up. Morikawa was probably the better golfer, like pure striker, pure everything. But they both won for me in majors, and they both won for me at plus 3,000,
plus
30
25,
to 1,
yeah.
30-1 or better. And you can't. I'm loyal to a fault.
Well, that's the only reason I didn't take Matsuyama, because I don't see a back-to-back winner happening at the Masters. So I stayed away from Hideki, and that's really the only reason, honestly.
Yeah, 40-1, man.
And there's one other thing I wanted to say about Koepka, and one of the guys I got in my top 10 is there's a stat about, I wish I could give you the technical term for it, but it's about how far and how high you can hit the driver. So there's a lot of guys that can hit it really far, but the trajectory is not very high. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I read something.
So
about that.
there's guys that can hit it long and high, and that helps in these tournaments. So you can shape them better. You can get the height that you need. You can go over trees. You can go around trees. You can move the ball. And that's one thing that Brooks can really do off the tee. He can hit it high and long, and that's going to help him navigate his way around the course. So that was one of the other reasons that I took Brooks there. Is, as long as his game is in shape. Again, it's hard to know because he's not been playing against PGA guys. Does that really make a difference? I mean, they're still playing it's still the same golfers, right? So I'm not sure how much difference that makes, but we'll find out.
So since we're just bringing up, you got all your picks out.
I got one more to go.
All right,
so here's my long shot. Here's my long shot for the tournament, and I say long shot because it's 65-1.
That may be what I was going to bring up, but go ahead.
All right, I've got Tommy Fleetwood at 65-1 here.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, so here's my reasoning with Tommy Fleetwood. He's not a long hitter. He's not one of your. I mean, look, all these guys hit it a long way when you're talking about the tour, but for average for tour players, he's not as long as some of the other guys. But he's incredibly consistent, and his iron play is really good, and he plays well in the weather because he spent most of his early career on the European Tour. So now I know we're at the Masters, it's a different course, I hear all that, but when you see this weather that they're about to have, it's going to be like playing overseas a little bit. And Fleetwood has been good here. He's contended in several U.S. Opens. He's contended in a lot of majors, I mean, honestly, but, he's a decent putter. He's really good with his irons. He can shape them and put them where he needs them, that's what you're going to need in this type of weather. If he's playing in the weather, it's going to make a difference with other guys that he's playing against. So I've got Tommy Fleetwood 65-1.
I like that a
He'll
hell of a
win the
lot better
Masters.
than I like that Justin Thomas pick. That's for sure. I think
I'm trying to give the guy a bone, man. I'm trying to make amends.
man, his wife gave him a name and he bet it. Now he's acting like that didn't happen.
Come on, man. I knew I shouldn't have done that. I should have just picked any. I could have replaced him with Tiger, and you wouldn't have said.
No, I wouldn't have said nothing. I'd have been like, no, it's a homer pick. That's fine. He's going to struggle with his knees and whatnot. But, boy, okay. Money's money, baby. I'm
That's
with
right,
you. That's
right.
what we're here for.
Money's money, cash and tickets.
All right,
Baby, cash and tickets.
So did you go down the rabbit hole, which I didn't go far down, and I just, too many people were saying this name all week about watch him, he's going to be good. His name's Keith Mitchell.
Keith Mitchell. All right, look.
I was like, what the? I'm just going to be wrong. Give a shit. Who the hell is this guy supposed to be?
Keith got hot in a couple of tournaments early this year. One of them being Pebble Beach, right? I don't think he won Pebble Beach, but he kind of he had a good run there.
That's what they kept saying. Like, if he gets hot, if he starts hitting. My favorite stat of the agreed to what Tee to Green. Well, if you're fucking Tee to Green, you're gonna be a good golfer. It's not a fucking stat. It's a fact. It's a damn fact.
Paul, answer me this question.
Paul,
answer me this question.
Sorry for cussing.
Has he ever been super consistent in his entire career?
He's not on my radar.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, so you're just gonna expect him to get hot one weekend?
He's consistently forgettable. Fucking. What are we doing?
What are we talking about here?
Goddamn Nostradamus out here picking golf matches.
If I was going to make a bet on Keith Mitchell, my bet would be not to make the cut.
I don't hate it. I mean, what the?
I mean, honestly, I'm not trying to hate on the guy. I just don't think he has the game.
No,
I don't think he has the game or the temperament to play here.
If those screens hold like you say they're going to hold in this weather, and they're still slick as shit,
they will.
You can be 5 feet out and still 3-putt.
Absolutely, you can.
It's the most, and you have to be okay with not making birdie. You have to understand where you are, and
you don't have to be a great putter.
No.
You just have to know how to not 3-putt.
No, don't screw it up.
If you're on the green 10 feet away putting for birdie, your main objective is to make sure that the next one goes in the hole. Yeah. If you miss the birdie putt, make sure the next one's not 5 feet away.
I was looking at the talking heads. I was like, I'm going to try to dive into this thing. There's a Keith Mitchell. I'm like, who? Okay, whatever.
No.
Then I go to the next talking head, Keith Mitchell.
No.
Like, who the?
No.
I'm like, who? Why?
No.
Okay. All right. As long as I ain't the only
And
one.
we're not the golf experts, obviously, but I mean, my goodness, I don't know. Just because the guy had the only guy that I left out that I think his game has come along, I think he may be one of the more underrated golfers on tour right now. And I love his game and the fact that I think he won Riviera, but I know that's California, but that course is incredibly hard.
Yes.
But the guy that's really playing good golf and is consistently good golf, not get hot for one tournament, is Max Homa. And I left him off either one of my tickets, and I kind of hate that I did, but watch out for Max Homa this weekend. He may be the guy that sticks it in my craw and Paul's craw.
I like top 10, top 20 maybe. I just don't think he's going to win it.
I mean, he's had struggles getting the win. That's true. But he's got the mental makeup to get something done, and his game has come into really good form, and he's playing well.
Yeah, he's one of those golfers that I like to bet. Like, I don't even care what the stats say. I want to see him do well. I want to see Hovland do well.
Oh, that was the guy. Beware.
Okay,
so here's some golf. You got any golfers to beware of? You talked about Keith Mitchell. So mine is
I'm not being aware of Keith Mitchell. I don't think Keith Mitchell.
I'm talking about for other people who've thought about maybe throwing that name out there.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a name that I would toss out completely as well as Victor Hovland, and because
what's wrong with Victor Hovland?
I
didn't bet him.
I don't know that Paul's ever seen I'm a decent golfer, and I think I could hold my own with Hovland around the greens. He's a horrible horrible chipper. I mean, a chipper, pitcher. What if you want to pitch it? You want to chip it? You want to bump and run it? He's not good around the greens.
Yeah.
It's a struggle. When you watch him set up to the ball, when he's off of the green, he looks like he's having a root canal. Like he grips the club too hard. He starts getting the shakes. He starts sweating. I mean, it's just not good. So, and you have to do that here at the Masters. You have to have that game. He doesn't have it.
How come when I say I like a golfer, you just got to destroy him right away?
You didn't say you liked him. You just I said
I
be
do
wet.
like though. I actually like sentimental, like him.
Oh yeah, no,
yeah.
like because he was the low amateur here
Yeah.
a few years back when he was the.
Here's a fun stat: he hadn't shot under 70 in the last 12 rounds.
Well, there you go. I mean, he just his short game is atrocious, and it's bad right now.
I like watching him do well.
Well, okay, but I mean, that's not what we're here to do. We're not here to do well. We're here to cash tickets, and I don't.
I'm gonna film you if Justin Thomas went. I'm filming you.
I'm gonna let somebody else cash that ticket. I'm not taking it to the gate. I'm not.
We're gonna have a whole episode about.
I'm gonna have to let. I'm gonna have to let,
eating your words.
I'm gonna have to let Paul go cash that ticket for me if Justin Thomas wins. Go Fleetwood.
Yeah. We have humbled Franklin Johnson. All right, well, that's all the bets I got on the
I will tell you
Masters.
this: if the big cat makes the weekend, I mean, you know what I'm going to be watching. I mean, regardless of my bets, I'll be seeing what he does over the weekend.
Oh, you can always live bet.
Also true. You won't get him 80-1 if he makes the weekend.
Nah, probably not.
What else we got about the Masters? I mean, what? All right, so tell me how you see this thing coming down.
I don't know because of the weather. That's what scares me. I don't know. Like in my mind, I think the course is going to be brutal.
You know what scares me?
Not just the green. I'm just talking about it's just going to be sloppy and nasty. And if you say those greens can get dry, then you got a shitty ass fairway with a fast.
And then you got a fast right.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be bad.
What scares me is that the best golfer in the world right now is just going to go out there and dominate, and I got nothing on him because I faded him
But
all around.
why would you bet that though?
Well, no, you wouldn't. He's so. I mean, my God, it's like watching Forte run. I mean, it's not as that. Not that short of a favorite, but Scotty Scheffler is, man, it's hard to overlook what he's doing right now.
He's the most oh shucks guy you ever seen. He like drinks milk and he does push ups.
You think him and Justin Thomas hang out?
He does push ups and sit ups in the mornings, and and he reads at evening, and he.
So he's not hanging out at the club like Tiger Woods did when he was that age.
I don't reckon that dude's ever seen a shot of tequila in his life. But anyway,
you know what we all should be,
and he'll probably go win it.
We should all appreciate Tiger more for what he did in his prime, knowing what he did outside of the course in his prime. Does that make sense?
He lived a life.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and still got it done on the weekend. Still got it done.
He's one of them dudes that go to work to get away from the bullshit.
Yeah, right.
Baby, I gotta go to work.
That bitch is killing. I got to get away from here. You still calling me? He gives a cell phone to his caddy and say, "Just hold this until I get done for the ride." I gotta go play golf, man.
You gotta do better.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. What else?
That's all I got, bub. I mean, I'm gonna put some UFC picks out before Saturday. Gonna definitely put some horse picks out before Saturday. We probably do if we got time. We'll do Friday. I got all the time. Friday.
Yeah, I got some stuff I'm doing Friday, but maybe we can shoot it. Hopefully, we can shoot a show Friday with the horses, and we'll dive into the prep races this weekend. I know we have this. Oh, I think it's this. There's a race at Santa Anita. I don't know if it's called the Santa Anita Derby or what, but probably I think that's a prep race. You've got one at Keeneland called the Bluegrass, and then you've got one at Aqueduct, the Wood Memorial, going on. So it's 3 big prep races this weekend. Bunch of horses we haven't seen, bunch of new names trying to get into the Derby. So we'll try to dive into that best we can, and we'll give you some more horse picks for the weekend. And because of what hasn't been hasn't been too bad over the last couple of months.
Seems
So
to be our niche.
that's right. So we'll give you some more of that coming up. So hey, enjoy your Easter. Enjoy the weekend at the Masters because I know we're going to be enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'll have my green hat on next time when we do a show. So for Paul, I'm Franklin, and this has been Cash and Tickets Masters Edition, and we'll catch you next time.